Indestructible Gaming. Select your character. Musket Shot. Mr. K. Let the battle begin. Get ready for a battle unknown. 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to Indestructible Gaming and More. I'm Musket Shot. Alongside me is my co-host, Mr. K.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hello.
Brand new episode of Indestructible Gaming and More.
Yeah. So this episode, we're talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Shredder's Revenge. So if you're a big fan of the comic or cartoon, I think you're gonna like
or the
movies.
toys.
Yeah, I think
the
you're
lunch boxes.
Yeah, everything that was put out there for those Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They were huge back in
Video games, magazines,
in the 90s and 2000s. But
cups, t-shirts. I can keep going.
Yeah, everything. They were definitely pushed out there for everybody to buy stuff from. So this is a game that's developed by a company called Tribute, and they have some other games. They're out of Canada, Montreal, Canada, or Montreal, Quebec, in Canada. So they have some other games. One of them kind of sounds familiar. Panzer Paladin, kind of sounds familiar.
I know Panzer Dragoon. That's a Sega game, but that's not that.
Yeah, there's one called Flint Hook. That one kind of sounds.
I think I've heard of Flint Hook. I feel like I've seen that on Steam before.
Yeah. And then the game's also published by, and I'm not sure how to pronounce it properly, but it's Dotemu. I don't know if it's Dotemu or Dotemu. I have no idea how it's actually pronounced, but they've published a bunch of different games too. Besides the Turtles game here, Windjammers 2, which I've heard of, Metal Slug Tactics.
No, that's the new one coming out.
Yeah, Streets of Rage 4, Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. I'm trying to see if there's anything else that looks familiar, but
all those games are pretty recent. Yeah,
so looks like they do quite a bit as well. So, but this is this game came out. It was released on June 16th of this year, 2022. So, that was pretty cool. And I'm trying to find the rating on it, but
I think it's
pretty much, yeah.
E10, I'm probably right about either one.
Yeah, I think it is too, and I've lost it for now. But anyways, I'll let you kind of give a little plot of the game here.
Well, it's Shredder's Revenge, and he's taking revenge on New York City, and it's your job as the TMNT, along with Shredder, Casey Jones, he's an unlockable character, and April O'Neil, to take him down. And this is your typical beat 'em up, as with all the old. It's kind of this game is an homage to those games back then, like Turtles in Time and any other TMNT beat 'em up you've played.
All right, and it's a side scroller, right?
Yeah, side scrolling beat 'em up.
Yeah, and kind of I didn't realize it, but I guess the voice actors from the 1987 series reprised their roles, which is pretty neat.
Yeah, and to answer your question earlier, yep, it is 10 up.
10 up, yeah.
Everyone 10 and up.
Yeah.
And if you ever wanted to play the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle game, they actually just released the Cowabunga collection for consoles.
Really?
Which comes with pretty much all the TMNT games in one package. So, and it includes online play and couch play. You can rewind, and even comes with the Japanese releases. You can also use button mapping, and it also comes with development art and sketches. which is pretty
Wow.
cool. It comes with the first one, the TMNT arcade, TMNT Turtles in Time arcade, uh, TMNT Nintendo, TMNT 2 Nintendo, the arcade version though, TMNT 3, the Manhattan Project for Nintendo, TMNT Turtles Tournament Fighters, Nintendo, TMNT Turtles 4 Turtles in Time, Super Nintendo, TMNT Turtle. Wow. Okay, hold on.
There's a little.
TMNT Tournament Fighters, Super Nintendo, TMNT Ninja Turtles, The Hyperstone Heist, Super Genesis, TMNT Turtles, Tournament Fighters, SG. I'm struggling. There's a lot of turtles. TMNT Ninja Turtles, all of the Foot Clan, Game Boy, TMNT 2, Back from the Sewers, Game Boy, and finally, TMNT Turtles 3, Radical Rescue for Game Boy.
I'll give you credit.
There's
for
also
getting through
online
all those.
titles, but
Nope,
I'm not going to go over those. But there's only 4.
We won't say them. Go find them yourself.
So if you're interested, please go get them. I didn't want to waste my lunch.
It's all those are in that.
Yeah, all
that
of
collection?
those in one package for
Wow,
only, and I say only,
$300.
$40.
Oh, well, that's pretty cheap.
Yeah, that's pretty good for $40.
Yeah.
$40.
And
And if you get it on Xbox Series X or Xbox One X, I assume, it has 4K Ultra HD.
Oh, well, that's pretty
And
good.
smart delivery. So if you own an Xbox One and decide to get an Xbox Series X or Xbox One X, you'll get that. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's only Series X it does that with. You'll get a free upgrade.
Wow. All right. Well, that's pretty good. That's not a bad deal, I guess. Then if you're getting all those games for $40.
Yeah. And all those features too.
Right, yeah.
Imagine playing, I don't know, none of the Nintendo ones. I'm not going to say what because there was at least 12.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine playing that online with someone else. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So again, you get your choice of playing the usual any one of the turtles. You can play as April, Master Splinter, or you can unlock Casey Jones. And the only way to unlock Casey Jones is by completing the game, right?
Yeah, you just got to beat the game.
Yeah.
Which I'm not like entirely for.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it seems
Casey
kind of
Jones is cool. I like Casey Jones. I just don't. I'm not a huge fan of the fact you have to unlock him.
yeah, that kind of surprised me. I thought that was
I guess
kinda
that's a way
weird.
to have you to try and play
Yeah.
twice. But then again, by then you already have all the levels unlocked, so you just go and play one level with them and then call it a night.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, I mean,
Like the only reason I played as him when we played was because I unlocked him and never played as him. So
yeah. I guess it depends. I mean, if you don't get through the game and you want to unlock that character, you'd
yeah.
be kind of frustrated by the fact that you can't unlock him and play as that character. But well, I don't know. I mean, with us playing multiplayer online together, it wasn't too bad. I mean, there were times where we had a little bit of a rough spot here and there, but for the most part, it wasn't too difficult of a game. And I think you could play up to what, 4 people?
I think it was like it was like 6.
Oh, was
or
it
8.
6? Yeah. Okay.
Let me check.
It was up that high.
I think it was.
Okay.
I think it was 6. I can double check because.
Oh
it
yeah,
was a
6 players.
Six players. Okay.
Yep, 6 players. There we go. So that, I mean, that's pretty cool if you have 6 players, and I'm not sure if
Game can get pretty chaotic, so that can be a lot of fun playing with a lot of people.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if there's
It's online and local, so.
Oh, right. I'm not sure if there's a lot more villains if you have 6 people playing on the game.
Either
Because
that or they could do the Borderlands kind of technique where the more people you have, the harder the enemies are to kill.
Yeah, maybe that would be it, because I would think that with 6, if you're playing with 6 friends, if there's 6 of you playing on this thing, that alone is going to fill up the screen, I would think. And then if you add all the combatants, the villains that are coming at you, I can't imagine it'd be more than that. Because then it would be hard to even like focus on anything.
Well, I mean, like if it's, I mean, I'll be honest, the game is pretty easy. You, well, I mean, if it was a traditional beat 'em up, not saying it's not.
No.
If it was a traditional beat 'em up where once you ran out of lives, that was it, it would be pretty difficult. But the fact
Yeah.
that you can just
Right.
come in back and just join the action and not have to worry about losing your lives or having to plug in any coins makes the
Hmm.
game really easy. But that's not a bad thing in this situation. I say that's a good thing.
Right.
But I feel like also if it would make sense that if you had multiple people and more than four or just four, it would make the game a little harder. Or I don't know, maybe I don't I don't know. You just feel like it should boost up the difficulty. I mean, me and a couple of my friends played, and it was the three of us, and it was still pretty easy. So I'm not sure how it would be with six players. It could be more than a cakewalk.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the like you mentioned with if your character dies, you can just jump right back in, and that's the case if as long as the other character is still alive too. So if both of you die, then you kind of have to start that one level over again. But I think that happened to us once maybe.
Once or twice.
Yeah, once or twice in the game. Most of the other time, if I died off or if you died off, you we just came back into the game. So, but you can't change your character,
Unless you die.
right? Like if
Unless you
you,
die completely and have to not restart, but just respawn,
hmm
because it respawns automatically for you. But
hmm
if you lose all your lives, you'd have to physically choose the character you want to be.
right,
And sometimes you would accidentally pick the character that you weren't. And that could be an issue because there are levels in this game, weirdly enough,
hmm
which I guess adds to replayability because the more you progress with your character, the more like the stuff they get.
right,
Like say you get I don't know, a harder punch or I don't know, you get a new move or something like that. I can't exactly remember what were the special moves, but
hmm
it's along those lines.
right,
And so like say I was it happened to me when we were playing. I think we were fighting a boss and I was playing as Casey Jones and I happened to die. And I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna press it and get ready for Casey. And I just come in as Leonardo. And they're
yep,
like, oh, oops. So I just killed myself and I chose Casey because I
yeah,
didn't want to use the levels on Leonardo. I wanted to level up Casey. So that's the only reason I could see it being an issue.
hmm
But other than that, it's pretty good.
yeah. And there's pizza pie boxes around on the levels every once in a while that pop up that you can grab, and those kind of give you like
It gives
it's
you
kind of
like
like a health
certain
potion, right?
abilities. It depends. There's some that give you health, and then there's one that gives you like this super.
Oh, right, the super
And
strength or something like
basically
that.
that I guess makes you a spinning top or whatever your special ability is, and
That's
you
right.
can
Yeah.
just destroy enemies with one hit. And usually it's used for when a bunch of enemies are hit there
Hmm.
in a bunch of waves. So it's really satisfying pulling off killing a lot of enemies at once.
Yeah.
They did that pretty well.
Yeah, they did.
And the game looks pretty good. Like it
Yeah.
has a traditional like what would you say?
Well, I think it reminds me
Like an
of
arcade style.
yeah, an arcade style game from like the 90s. I
And
mean,
even the voice clips are kind of bit crushed, so it
hmm,
also is kind of like to that style. Not too much, but like
yeah,
it's a clean bit crush. It's weird. You'd have to hear it yourself.
yeah. And they got all the different villains from the TV show and stuff in
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And the characters are voiced. It's not like they have little speech bubbles or anything.
Hmm.
They are voiced. And but yeah, that's the aesthetics pretty much. I
Yeah.
mean, there's a world map that you go around and go into levels,
Hmm.
and there are characters you can do side missions for by finding certain things in certain missions, and you get stuff for getting them that stuff. And I'm pretty sure they're just skill points, which isn't that big of a deal. And of course, an achievement if you're playing on console or well, actually everywhere now, because everywhere has achievements except for Switch. but
Hmm.
you get an achievement for that. But
Right. Right.
yeah, it looks pretty good. And I don't know, do you want to go on some? I know we've been talking about gameplay, but I don't think we actually talked about how it works in terms
Yeah.
of which it's not going to be very long because it's a beat 'em up.
Right.
You press buttons to hit. One
Yeah.
button to hit, one button to kick, one to do a special move. Press one button, press another button, do a jump kick. Uh, can you grab? I don't remember
Yeah.
grabbing.
Yeah. You can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. I just never used it.
Yeah. You can. It's a little tricky to do at times, and it doesn't always, I think,
And if I'm
come
not
that easily. But
mistaken,
yeah.
you can also roll, but
Yes, I believe so
I
too.
think I
I
just
don't
never
think I
used
did.
it.
Yeah, I don't think I. If I did use it, it was probably
I think the
by
only times I
accident.
used it when it was like a boss or something like that where I actually had to.
Right. Right.
But and there's also team attacks, which you can do with certain characters that do special attacks. Or it
Hmm.
might be all characters. I'm not exactly sure. But we didn't do it too much on our playthrough because I don't know. I can't I'm not sure. Maybe we just didn't do something at the right time or
Hmm.
weren't close enough to do it at the time. But me and my friends did it a couple of times in our playthrough.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that. It kind of reminds me of how the Simpsons arcade worked, where the characters could team up,
Hmm.
like Bart going on Homer's shoulders, and or like Marge using the vacuum with, I think it was with Lisa. I think they did something. I can't remember.
Hmm.
When's that game coming to Xbox? It needs a remaster. It needs
Yeah.
something.
I'm surprised it hasn't already.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised too. It was pretty popular,
Yeah.
but or they could do a new one.
Right. I know.
If TMNT can do it, so can The Simpsons.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
but yeah, that's pretty much it. You have a health meter, goes down, you're dead.
yeah. Pretty much. I mean,
Destroy everything in your path.
yeah. I mean, you can. There's other things within the environment that you can grab or destroy and stuff too. Not everything though. I mean, just every once in a while there'll be things that you can either destroy or grab and pick up or use.
Yeah,
But for the most part, it's you know each turtle's got its own weapon. Each turtle's got its own weapon, and I don't know what does April fight with. I mean we didn't try
I think with
April.
just her fist and a
Just her
mic.
fist. Yeah.
I think she also takes pictures. I think, but I'm not exactly sure. I didn't play as her.
Hmm. And what about
Uh,
Master Splinter? Do you know?
Master Splinter uses cane.
It's Kane.
His
Okay.
cane and his fist. I played him with my friends, and he was a really fun character to fight with.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's a really good game. If it's on Xbox Game Pass, so if you
Yep.
have Game Pass, I highly recommend just checking it out. It's not a long game whatsoever.
No, yeah.
If you finished in the morning, you'd be done before like dinner time. It's a
Yeah.
very short game. I kid you
Yeah.
not, 12 missions long.
You're
That's
right.
at least 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, and the levels weren't that long either.
That's
I
if
mean,
you're not going full completionist. 2 to
right.
3 hours if you're just blasting through the levels just to play the
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, and that's what we did. We just blasted through the levels. We didn't complete every little thing that was in the game.
You
So
didn't really need to. Just
no,
have
not
fun and play
really.
it.
Yeah.
And the music was pretty good too. I did like the music.
Hmm.
It fit TMNT pretty well.
Yeah, they have the theme song at the beginning and kind of goes through. It's almost like the TV show theme song type look to it. So they have that at the
Yeah.
beginning, and it definitely has a lot of the feels of an arcade stand-up box type game
Yeah, and
at an arcade. So
that was the whole intention of it, and it
hmm.
pulls it off pretty well.
Yep.
I'll give them the 2 thumbs up for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's on Nintendo Switch. It's on PlayStation. I don't know if it's on 5 or 4.
probably in both.
Yeah. It's
If it
on
has smart
Xbox One.
delivery, it's on Xbox One, so that must mean it's.
Yeah.
Or does it have smart delivery? I think it does.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure. Oh, and no, I don't think it is because it's. Yeah, it doesn't have an Xbox Series X version, so yeah, no, it doesn't have it because you don't need it.
Mm.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I recommend checking it out. What would you rate it?
I'd have to rate it like an 8.5 because I thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty fun. I thought the action was was good, and
Yeah,
and
yeah, I
it's
would.
not like you said, it's not super hard, and if you can complete the game either by yourself or with some friends,
I'm
and
pretty
the
sure
next
it
time you can
has.
go around and play as a different,
I'm
different
pretty sure it has a
characters.
difficulty setting, so I'm sure if you find it too easy, you can put it
Hmm.
up.
I
And I
think there
feel like
was,
that would be
yeah,
a lot more fun if you had a lot of players and put it up to the most highest difficulty,
yeah.
just for the hell of it.
I
Since
think I remember there being one in there. Yeah,
yeah, we did normal. So,
right.
and I don't remember if there was a super hard, but I'm pretty sure there's just easy, medium, hard.
Hmm.
Although it would make sense if there was if there was an easy, medium, hard, and then a cowabunga.
Right.
That would make sense.
There is
But
we forgot to mention that there is a way when you're playing with a friend that they can try to revive you when you've been
oh,
knocked down.
right, right.
There's like a timer that's like counting down, but you go over to the character that's down, and I forget what button it was on the controller, but you basically kind of like wave a slice of pizza in their face,
Yeah,
and then they sort of revive themselves
I don't.
as long as you're not getting hit in the head by
Which that's a
the
difficult thing to do if you're doing with two
yeah,
players because
because
it's
that
gonna
happens like
happen.
all the time. There's times where it's like you're so close to reviving your friend, and then it's like,
It's one
nope,
hit. One hit
nope,
will knock you out of it. It's not like a
nope.
couple hits. It's one singular hit will knock you out. That's like the only thing I didn't like. Anything else though was pretty good. I
Yeah,
would say I don't know how you'd be able to fix that. It's kind of a hard thing to fix. Maybe they could have it so if you're reviving someone, it should be multiple punches to take you out, not just one,
right.
or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it made it really that made it kind of difficult to try to revive somebody because it was just like you said, one hit would knock you away from that person, and then you had to kind of like start all over again to try to revive that person, and you could do that like 3 or 4 times, and it's like next thing you know, the person's dead because you couldn't revive them, and it's like, well, okay. But now I've just
Yeah,
gotten beat up more
but
by these.
now that you mentioned that, I think that's the reason why they had it, so you wouldn't have a complete game over and you can just
Hmm.
join again, again, again.
Right. Yeah.
That way you wouldn't have a cheap death and then be
Hmm.
all pissed off about it.
Right.
That would make sense,
Oh, and
but they could easily just avoid all that by making it a
right.
little easier to revive, maybe a little quicker.
Hmm.
It does take a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
And
we got into like the last second and then being hit.
hmm
Can be really annoying.
yeah. And then the special ability you were talking about that where you can spin around and like wipe out a whole bunch of people at one time was the radical mood or
That's what it's called.
radical mode. I'm sorry, radical mode. So yeah,
Mm. But
but
yeah, I'd have
that
to
you had to build that up though each time before you
yeah.
could use it. It wasn't just something like you had all the time.
But yeah, I'd have to agree with you with your rating there. I would probably have to give it an 8.5 out of 10. It was a really fun game. Recommended if anyone has Game Pass
Hmm.
and or likes TMNT.
Yeah,
But
and even if you don't, I wasn't a huge fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But I mean, I like beat 'em up. I like those beat 'em up type games. Like, I mean, it's kind of like Double Dragon and
yeah.
some of those games back then in the '90s, early '90s, where you go into the arcade, just pound the buttons, move the joystick back and forth, left, right, up, down, and then beat up people, grab people, throw them, and punch them, kick them, whatever. So I think it definitely has that feel to it.
I think that's gonna be it for this episode. I think
Yeah,
that's all we could talk about
yeah, there's not a
for
lot to it.
TMNT. It's a pretty small game.
Yeah,
It's a very small game, but it's a fun little package.
yeah, definitely, definitely.
But next episode we're gonna be checking out a game coming out this year. Tomorrow actually, in terms of what day we're recording. But it's called Spider Heck. And that's a PvP, PvE, that's a player versus player and player versus environment
Okay.
game where you play as spiders with different weapons and you try and kill each other or survive or kill AI. I'm not exactly sure. It's not out yet.
Hmm.
But it's a game we're going to check out next.
Yeah, it's coming out on Game Pass, right?
Yep. And
Nice.
this game is being developed by I can't remember. I know it's published by Tiny Build, and I've known them for a little bit.
Yeah, Tiny Bill does what? Hello Neighbor and
Hello Neighbor, No Time to Explain. That's another
Right.
popular one. Let's see, what else? Trying to think of another game while I check. Nope, I can't think of anything. Never Jam. It's developed by Never Jam.
Never Jam. Okay.
Sorry, Never Jam, if you're listening to this. But yeah, that's our next game. So we're gonna
right.
try that out, and I'm sure we'll have a
Cool.
blast.
Yeah, well, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how. I mean,
See
we
us.
we did one episode on killing spiders, so why not fight as them?
Yeah. Listen to us swinging into action next time.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Take it easy, folks. Peace.
Game over.
Hey guys, how's it going? I hope you enjoyed the episode. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and if you go on our website with the same name, you can also find us on all the other kinds of stuff you can listen to us to. Anyways, hope you have a wonderful day, folks. Stay destructible, and peace.